Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the last slave planet in the galaxy. Under all agreements, under all rights, under galactic law, we now proclaim this planet free. The descension of the true human consciousness has begun. Energizing Shambhala diamonds. The men, women, and children of this planet are now set free. Grid fields activated. You have already reached activate Shambhala diamond. Critical mass. Integration onto microcosm, expanding linear space. Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing. Free space activation. Landing. Caution. All crew members to station. This is the Starship Bob. We are landing. Darkcity Radio, where we come from, the wealth of the worth and the measure, is the rough kind of topic of it. We began a good while ago, just a few of us, with this crazy idea of maybe we could do it. Maybe we could actually do this for nothing. That was the idea then, to be able to create a free radio or media stream. And we were quite successful in doing that. Of course, at the time, that success was measured upon what myself and the few people who were around then considered to be free. What is free? We realised pretty much we were eluding ourselves. Free what? A free, operating system. Free for who? Somebody was paying for it. A stream had to be paid for, and the web hosting has to be paid for. Somebody's paying for it. Well, what do we mean by free? And over the months, I've learned more about that. The affirmation of a slave. I was asking things to be free for others, rather than recognising that we are free. We are actually free right now. Of course, I am not disputing that we have been enslaved. I know this. I am not disputing we have been born amongst conspirators in murder, tyranny and fear, co-conspirators. And these are our family, our friends, our relatives. So I've always had an issue with authority. Anyone that tries to impose their will over me. Okay, there's times where I've been an ass and, you need your mate to come up and say, oi, pack it in. That's what friends are for. Not to come to you and tell you afterwards, oh, I knew you about that. Oh, but I knew you wouldn't. No, take the chance. Take the risk. Take the risk. If people get offended at what you say to them, that's their issue. Of course, don't go out of your way to offend people. Don't go out of your way to do it. Have a bit of fun, Don't take it too serious. But if people are going to get offended at words, then they are the ones who have took offence. If we don't mean to offend, it's not your problem. They're offended. So often we've been scared of saying and speaking out, all of us, to one degree or another. We've been fearful of doing that. And when we started this, like I say, I didn't know what free really was. I didn't. Beginning to now, though. Bob Earthwise described it as being organic. I kind of saw that. I kind of saw it was organic. No head of it, no control. It grew, it went where it could go, it moved into places that were, it was needed. I didn't think back then that we'd be looking back at, what have we got, 500-600 hours now of info and shows from, you know, some pretty top people, you know. I mean, they're all good. Like I say, I don't do the top and the bottom, but I wouldn't have been sat here thinking, well, I would have been meeting these people. I would have never thought I would have sat around and talked. I couldn't. And a lot of that is not necessarily down to the radio, but to the openness of people that we're finding now. People who are leading us out there, leading us, helping us out of the dark. For me, you see, when I look at the majority of the world, it is quite a dark place. Or the place I live in, the Western world. I've been lucky enough to travel outside my comfort zone, and especially in India, where I saw the poorest of people, but I also saw the happiest of people. Highs and lows. The difference between those people, they haven't got any paperwork. They can't go and get a loan from the bank. You know, they haven't got a birth certificate. They haven't got any of that. What, their possessions, they can pick up and carry along with them. Now, that's kind of free. That's kind of free. Perhaps freer than most of us would choose. And I do sincerely think that it is about personal choice. And through warriors, I can't give them a better term. There is no better name for them. They are all individuals, but warriors, real warriors, who found the light within and had the strength to allow it to expand. That's what brings us together. That's how we all found ourselves in the darkness here. That's how we created the light. The blinding flash of Darkcity Radio. And that flash took us, in 6 months' time, to a statement made yesterday by Rick Simpson. Of course, it's brought us right up to this moment where I'm speaking now. Well, that statement from Rick said that he would like PhoenixTears to work with Darkcity in the construction of the Compassion Club, where really Rick will be able to live out his dream. Big dream he's got, Rick. Big dream. You see, I'm there. I'm there with Rick on that. Of course, I didn't dream as big as Rick dreamed, but I'm beginning to. I see this is only one step. Darkcity was the step, at least for myself, where we came together and we began that process. A process of cooperation, collective cooperation, with no direction. We had no direction. We just came together, all of us, including Rick. We hadn't been going long when Rick came to us and said after that first show he'd like to come back and do more. I was flattened by that. I was flattened. Bit of a hero, Rick, for me, and I know for many others. But let's not follow Rick. Let's not have Rick lead us any longer. Let's let Rick take a step back. Let him take his place in the army now that stands by his side. Because we are no longer one or two. We never have been. We just needed something to bring us together. That's all we needed. Of course, we were the little aspects, the little individuals, the little tiny flecks that did come together. Spoke of them as little lights, little tiny lights. And they were beginning to burn brighter, much brighter. a new land, a new ideology, a land where hemp can actually turn all that darkness bright green again. It can bring us out of the black, out of the red and back into the green. It can take the land that's being scarred, make it whole again. We do not need to put right our economies, because once we begin to get this spread all over, the ideology now returned to the people that plants aren't enemies. Plants don't kill you. Well, some of them can. One or two. But not this plant in question. One of the most harmful, perhaps ceremonial, religious plants that has ever been. Ever. In the history of us anyway, and this planet. And that has been denied to us for long enough. Now, someone said a few times, first Spain, it was Pinky in the Brain, I think it was Saduma, you know, first Spain, and then the world. But in a sense, Spain's last. Spain is last, for the world was first. Because this plant, I know, is already growing all over the world. Individuals unknown to the most, those shadows in our cities are beginning to step forward. Already, arrangements are starting to be made, people are starting to move, people are starting to move. Their acting has become action. Their dreams now unfolding into reality. So there we go. Rick Simpson? No. Paul Aiden? No. Darkcity? PhoenixTears? Compassion clubs? Yes. No individuals. No leader. No head. Okay, maybe a few roles that we have to act out. We have to have an El Presidente and a secretary and these things. But everyone remains as one, as a singular member with a singular vote. No hierarchical system. None. How are we going to get there? Stage 1 has been completed. Stage 1 actually needed people to be a catalyst of some description for these people to come together in the first place. So, most of you already know, stage 1 is now complete. And for those of you that are listening to this later, this doesn't matter. You are already part of stage 1 as you were pulled towards this. Mentally, physically, emotionally, dimensionally. Hey, we're not bothered. Doesn't matter. Many of you are already working in this, and we're just looking for the trigger to unify us all. Every single one of us. Every one of us. Every single one out there that's ever smoked a joint and enjoyed it. Anyone that's used it medically, socially, anyone that realizes social use of cannabis is actually preventative medicine. That's what it is. Let's begin to call it that. How are we going to get there? How are we going to make this real? Stage 1's done. Of course, for everybody else out there in the real world, stage 1 needs to happen. We need to raise the finances, quite simply, to go and set up the Cannabis Club or the Compassion Club. This happens in Spain because at the moment they've got the only government in the world that seems to be sensible. I thank them for that. I do thank them for that. Of course, I don't agree with what we've got to do it. But that's what we've got to do it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's begin the process. if we only get, if we make the 30,000, 35,000 euro, 30,000, doesn't matter. If we get 20,000, we'll start it. If we get half of it, we'll go and we'll begin. If it doesn't happen, you know, if it doesn't happen, then we'll just send it back. Because I'll go and do it. I'll do it. I'll sell my house and I'll go. There you go. I don't want to have to do that. And it's not from a personal reason. I've thought about this longer now. I have people come and come to my home yesterday. It's not about me, this house, anymore. It's about a sanctuary. And if we can do it, we're going to imply exactly the same thing here on this one little terraced house. We'll imply exactly the same ruling on here as we're going to do in Spain. And I hope there's many more who'll join. Many more. Now the idea here is what's done in private remains private. No loss, no harm, no deception, no breach of the peace. Roughly. Alright? Now that involves, on the ground, individuals first going to the police with the society. This is our society, this is the El Presidente, this is the bloody, and we have set up these rules within our society. What problem have you got with that, Mr. Police Officer? And he will say, I've got a problem with this, that and the other. We will say to him, well, we've done that, so that isn't a problem. We've done this, so that isn't a problem. And the law says that, so you shouldn't have a problem. As soon as he's agreed then that he shouldn't or he hasn't got a problem, we move on to the next one, which is then the local mayor or the, you know, the town vicar or the town parish, depending where it is. But over there, it's normally the mayor of the town. Then they agree. And that's it. You've got that then. Then we've got a society. Okay? Then we can rent the building that's required. Now we do all this in-house. Everything's done in-house. Okay? In private. Everything's done in private. And there's the catch. There it is. It's as simple as that. Everything must be done privately. To the members. To the members. So, stage one is to get us into a position where we're there. Where we're ready to rent this place and we get it all done and dusted. Like I say, with that, we can start. We can rent a smaller place. We can begin the process straight away, bang, almost immediately. Stage two is the full place with everything in it, up and running with the original founder members. Those original founder members. Now, of course, the founder members, these people who come along in the first place, they can't be a member of a society that does not exist yet. That's why we're calling them founder members. Okay? They're at the beginning and the foundation of this thing actually becoming real. Talking's over. Action's begun. 300 euros, 100 people each. Look, if more come, that'll just go in. We won't need to do. There's an Indiegogo which will come out. We're getting a video. Rick's doing a video for that. That's why we've already put the audio out. Let's get the audio out there. Let's get this moving. Let's stop holding it up. Rick's been held up many times by authority, by friend, by family. Not necessarily with negative intention, but this keeps happening. You can't hold up the organic nature of it. It can't be done. So, Rick, I haven't been looking at my screen, guys, if you've been texting and wanting to get in, anybody. Oh, no, so they're all chatting. So, good things, bad things. You know, there's shit happening around us all the time. This is the wealth and the measure of it. And there's good things happening. We've got an opportunity here. 100 people, 300 euros each. 300 euros. Yeah. Now, that's probably the dearest club in Spain you could join. But we were going to do that for founder members. That's how we originally saw it. And it was Rick who said, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. That's cheap to cure cancer. And he's actually got a point. Actually got a point. So, as the rules and that, what do they call it? Oh, there is a name for it. You know, society, the rules of the society. We have to write that out and make that. As that's for that will be set up by the founder members. Simple as that. You see it? We've got to get the people together, we've got to finance it, and we've got to put it into practice. It will support itself. It will support itself. Isn't that what it is? Yeah? Isn't that what it is? Yeah, there's that many people who are interested in this already who actually want to come and visit. Now look, this is not like a hotel you can all come and stay in. Mind you, if the floodgates does open, then it could be. And that's the way we're looking at it. Let's get it moving, but let's not cap it. Let it flow. Let it flow. We're opening up the gates now to that financial, are we going to make it? Well, let's prove this now. It's 100 people out of the world. Of course, you can do that all the other way around if you like. We'll have 300 people. It really doesn't matter. I'm really not bothered. As long as we can get that amount in, we can get that, you know, we can get there and we can make it a reality. That's it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let us do it. Can you hear that? It's going to happen already. We're going to do it anyway. And if you want in, we need you. I don't need you. Rick don't really need you. Okay? Don't think anybody at Darkcity needs you. This world needs us. All of us. We can't keep sitting around. About this, it's not just about giving people medicine. As Rick said, and I'm going to play it for you, but as Rick said, in fact I won't go into it, what I'll do is I'll play that for you right now. Alright, it'll take us over. It's a little bit long, so it'll probably take us over. Well, it's not a little bit long, it's 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes, and I'm sure you'll all agree. It's well worth listening to for 7 minutes. But of course you won't be able to do that until I've played it. So that's what I'll do. That's what we'll do right now. A little bit of Rick Simpson.
Well, of course, I'm Rick Simpson, and this is a Darkcity radio show, and this is about the medicinal use of cannabis. Lately, we've been trying to get this thing going together in Spain, you know, so people can come and get treatment, you know, at a compassion club we hope to form. In 2009, my research was interrupted by the corruption of the Canadian government and all they control. So from that time onward, I have put all my energy into spreading this knowledge in all the different countries that I have visited. Finally, after all these years, what I have been telling the public about the healing abilities of these oils has all been proven to be true. So it seems as if I have finally achieved my goal, and now I would like to resume my research once more and try to put my life back into some kind of order. A few months ago, I had the pleasure of coming into contact with Paul Hayden and all the other great people he is working with at Darkcity Radio. Immediately, we all became friends, and since then, we have all been working together to help make the truth about this topic more widely known. For quite some time, we have been trying to put something together in Spain where the sick and suffering might come and to receive treatment. Then just recently, Paul and some others on the Darkcity crew came up with a plan to have people contribute 300 euros, which would make them members of the Compassion Club we hope to establish there in the very near future. It will take a few months for us to get up and running, but once we do, members will be able to come to Spain and receive treatment in an environment where they should not be persecuted. I honestly think that joining this club would be the best insurance policy that one could have. And what would be wrong with having a holiday in Spain while becoming well again? I should also mention the fact that we intend to relieve as much financial burden as possible from the patients. And of course, members will receive their treatments at no cost. From what I understand, the idea which those at the Darkcity radio show have come up with is beginning to create a lot of interest, and I expect we will have no shortage of members to keep us all busy. Our aim is to run this Compassion Club on a non-profit basis, and anyone will be allowed access to the books, so corruption of any kind will not be possible, nor will it be tolerated. We already have quite a few very talented growers to help us get all this underway, but others with special talents and abilities will be added to the staff as time goes by. I think it is only fair to warn those who may wish to work with us that they must have no fear of hard work or getting their hands dirty, and only those who prove to have these qualities will be welcomed in our midst. In a short time, we hope to see this evolve into ever-expanding wellness centers across Spain and throughout the rest of the world. Of course, to supply this medication, a great deal of land to grow the starting material will be needed, along with greenhouses and production facilities. As we expand from country to country, more properties would need to be acquired, if possible, in the countries we intend to service, and we could then build production facilities nearby. This would enable individuals where we are allowed to produce this medication to find gainful employment with us, and in reality, if no one is allowed to interfere with our aims, I do not see how this plan could possibly fail. I think it might be a good idea if our club were to merge with the PhoenixTears Foundation. Then together we could branch out into different industries that this plant can support. This would allow us to create many jobs in badly depressed areas, and it would give us the opportunity to utilize this magnificent plant in every conceivable way. Of course, providing the medicine will always be my main concern, but how can one ignore the fact that this same plant can end starvation and also supply our energy needs, plus just about everything else we need to survive? I really look at what we intend to do as being a new beginning for mankind, and as we expand worldwide, I know it will do much to promote peace and harmony among nations. And just maybe we will finally be able to look at ourselves and the way we have been living in a somewhat more rational way. So I hope you will support our plan to build a better way of life that will give both mankind and this earth as we know it a future. After all, where else is there to turn, when we already know most governments have refused to meet our needs, and as yet I have not seen anyone come up with a better solution to the problems we are currently facing. Cannabis can save the world, and in reality, it is the only thing that can save mankind. I really do not want people to get the impression that I will be personally treating patients who come to this facility. In fact, if all goes as planned, I will have little involvement in that end of this operation. We are planning to have individuals on our staff that can speak different languages, and we will train them to the best of our ability so that they can deal with any questions the patients may have. At this time, I feel it is much more important for me to expend my energy tracking down and growing the most medicinal strains on Earth. Along the way, I hope to develop some new varieties which should have astounding medicinal values, the seeds from which I plan to make widely available at a very low cost, so that everyone can grow them and benefit. As soon as we begin production, we will set up a quality control program, and in a short time, I hope to set standards that we can measure oils produced by others against. Once testing facilities become more widely available, there will be little room left for pale imitations, and finally the public will be able to receive the correct medication which they require. It is my intention to perfect this medication until it is in the purest and most medicinal state possible, and to determine what cannabinoid levels are required to treat different conditions in the most effective way. It may take a while for me to achieve my aims, but I think all this can be accomplished in a relatively short period of time. I do not wish to be paid for the role I will be playing in all of this, and I think the income I will be receiving from the books that I have published should be enough to meet my needs. After we have achieved the goals I have set, and these amazing oils are in widespread use, I hope to return to a somewhat quieter way of life. But if the club or the PhoenixTears Foundation feel they must have my opinion concerning any important issues, I will be happy to comply. In reality, I am a hemp farmer who wants to get back to what he enjoys doing most, and that is simply to grow my plants and be left alone to do my research. In the future, I intend to continue investigating the cannabis hemp plant to discover what secrets it still might hold, and I hope to do a great deal of research with other medicinal plants and herbs as well. Who knows, just around the next corner, other miracles may come to my attention, and if they do, we will all benefit. Thank you for your time, and I hope you will support our efforts in every possible way.
That was Mr. Rick Simpson, or Rick Simpson, as he likes to be known. Right, €300, right? €300, right? I know this is, for me, for the likes of me, and many of you out there, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, you know, and I know that. Well, that's actually 4 of you, €75 each. 6 of you, €50 each. 10 of you, €30 each. And get 300 of you and pay €1 each. Get together. Create your smaller groups. Switch those tiny lights on. We'll get there. We'll get there. That's already begun. As soon as this was mentioned, people came forth. I've got half a share. Them are the most beautiful people in the world, I'll tell you. Look, I ain't saying all you people out there who've just gone, my God, as somebody's just done, I've just had this. Lost a few families to cancer. Imagine saving them for €300. Priceless. Had quite a high in the last few days. Since this kind of happened, it was like, wow, everything started to happen. Loads of people contacting us. Thanks to you all. It was brilliant. Yesterday, I didn't get a moment. I didn't get a moment. And I was contacted by a lady who's got leukemia and a child's got leukemia and they're both dying. Hit the bottom of the roller coaster then, I'll tell you. How fortunate we are to be able to deal with something with such a potential. Such a potential. Again, same problem. Sativa instead of indica. Right strains, where can I get them from? Same, right. I see how important it is. I really do. I really do. It's sobering. It's sobering. I'm not brilliant at text me and words. I'm okay at talking, you know. Hey, seem to be able to do enough of that. But writing it, I'm not very good at that side of things. Really not. I can do it now. Hard work. Which is really funny because Rick can write, but it takes him days to type. It's quite funny. It's like old school and new school. The old ways and the new ways. Some of them old ways have been lost. I mean, yeah, they're even older than Rick. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that's where I get me. It really does. This not only can save people, but it can change the way we live. It really can. So the world needs you. The world needs you. It does. Like I say, it will happen. But with you lot, this will happen swiftly. It will happen cleanly. We can take away the stress. And I know for some you're going to find this is a threat. I know we're a thorn in your side because you've made so much money out of this being illegal and bad and evil and the movement to make it because it's so right and it's a God-given gift. Both sides of the fence. I know. We're pulling the wheels off it. Right off it. Wheels are coming off the cannabis movement. Stop rolling. I know there's loads of people over in Spain. Loads of people over in Spain who have already started to support this. These are bright lights that have already come together. They have. I know it weren't easy in the past. We should salute them and recognise them. We really should. Now, I ain't going over to Spain to abandon this here, like I've said. I'm going to do it anyway. I will do it if necessary. I'll sell the lot and I'll plumb it for it. Why not? What a shot. You know, why not? But I ain't going there to live my life, to give up on my community. And I say mine, not because I own it, but because I'm part of it. I live in it. I love this country. I really do. And I love the people of it as well. I'm leaving to come back. I'm leaving to come back. That's what it's about. And when we do, we'll be everywhere. Everywhere. I'll commit as Rick's committed. I don't want paying for it. I'm the same as Rick. I don't. Not interested in that. shelter, food, a bowl of weed. That's all I ask. Simple as that. It's not an expensive rider, really, when you consider it. No. Of course, that's how it stands. But there are people going to need to be employed almost from the onset. You can't ask people to do full-time jobs with paperwork and so forth. So if you're out there and you're good at all that, you with me, any volunteers in these onsets are more than welcome. Get involved. Please get involved. Like I say, Lee's put a list, actually. There's a list. You know, if you haven't got any money, there's loads of other stuff you can do. Like I say, you can, and we can do this. Get the people, get your little group in your little area and go, look, we'll do it. I can't say what them people will get for certain. I don't like making promises in the future. A roll of honour, I suppose. It's a roll of honour. And it makes me proud to know we're here and we can actually we can actually be putting that forward. We really can. Oh yeah, we've got a few people on the ground in Spain. Lee is catching a bit, mate. He's off down to the village. Rachel, been travelling for a while, Rachel. She's travelling, recuperating. And there's quite a few others who are nameless at the moment to the rest of you. Because that's the way they want it. And I try to give people anonymity as best I can. Well, I will mention the countries. Ireland, Canada, Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Czech Republic, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Transylvania, Switzerland, Africa, South Africa. To name but just a few have already shown their support. Leicester. Leicester and a big smiley face from Mikey P. Nice one, bro. And wherever you may be. Wherever you may be. It is, for me, it's a massive moment. It really is a massive moment that we are able to do this. Like I say, now look at our wealth and worth and measure. Look at us. We're not massive. We're not. We're a tiny group of people. That's all we are. In comparison to the number on Earth, have a look at us. We're tiny. And we're making a difference, brothers and sisters. You know, Bob Earthwife said a long while to me when in the early stages, I was like, yeah, is it all worth it? He said it's a ray of hope. And I didn't like that. God, I didn't like that. I really didn't. It's a ray of hope. Well, we're not a ray of hope anymore. We're not. This is real. This is real. We can turn it round. I've never ever seen such a golden opportunity in my life, and I've kicked around a while. I've seen some good shit and some bad shit go down. I can't see anybody here. I can't. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Gonna quote it again. I've lost family. Imagine saving them for €300. As soon as I get my €300, let me know. If you're out there and you need it, I'll pay for your 300. I'll pay. €300, you need it, we'll work it out, we'll do it. If you're out there and you haven't got it, Darkcity crew will pull together. That's what we do. Because we pull together here on Darkcity. And we make it real. That's what we've done. That's the wealth of it. That's the worth of it. And that's the measure. Our measure. Our worth. Our wealth. Our wealth is knowledge. 'Cause knowledge is power. 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 'Cause knowledge Our worth is priceless. And our measure, our action, what we have done, wealth, worth, and measure, no longer to be used to look upon another's authority, but to use to look on ourselves. We are only a few. We are only a few. Remember this. We are only a few. But together, working as we have in unity, we are unstoppable. We need to know where we're coming from. We need to be certain of ourselves. We need to be grounded with compassion and love for ourselves. For we are a formidable army. A formidable army. Now let each one of you, that tiny light, just grow a little bit brighter tonight. Today, to this afternoon, this morning, wherever you may hear these words. Just a little bit brighter. We ain't coming. We're already here. We ain't gonna make it happen. It's already happened. We've punched through. We're stood in the middle now. Undivided. Who's gonna join us? All are welcome and all are worthy. Without their judgment, without their wealth and worth and measure. We can make the dream real. Join us. Help us. Let's make this successful. Let's see this spread like wildfire. Not red, burning and scorching, but completely the opposite. The systems we know about, we need burnt, barren rock. And the rest we can do. The rest we can do. Give us something to start with. Make it swift. There's a button. There's a button. My apologies to those that came yesterday. My apologies. That's all I can do. People ringing us up and saying they want to contribute. We want to help. We want to do it now. How do we do it? Oh, I don't know. Hey, we've done a button. We've spoke to Rick. We've done it. We set up a separate little account. So there we go. We've done it. There's a button now. It's on the front of the Darkcity website, www.darkcity.com. It says support. I better check what it does say, actually. It's been that quick. It says support Rick. No, it doesn't. Oh, I've lost my old website. It says support Rick Simpson. No, it doesn't. I'm saying it again. I keep saying that. It's going to play music at me when I click this. It says donate. It says donate to the PhoenixTears Compassion Club. Getting my own tongue twisted. That's what it says. Donate to the PhoenixTears Compassionate Club. If you click that, it'll take you to another page, which has got Rick's book. We're getting a new video. Like I say, Rick's going to do a new video, and that will move on to stage 2. And this is it. This is it. So, congratulations to Barry. Just getting towards the end of the show. Barry's actually set up some brilliant stuff over in Canada. Absolutely amazing. He's been although he doesn't kind of take credit for it, he has been a major player in putting some significant people together. He really has. Dean Clifford, Rick Simpson, and Dave Matthews. Dave from, you've all heard of the other two, but Dave Matthews, a real rising star within our legal eagles. These people who are checking this out, what they can and what they can't do. Too long we've been, they've had the whipping stick, you know. Let's not whip them with it. Let's just get ourselves out of that position.
We'll see what kind of a horseman he is when he gets here.
Oh, you're back! You're back! I thought you.
I've been listening for the last half hour.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
I just like listening to you talk, bro. So I'm sitting in the background.
Well, I was going to move on to that you've done loads and loads and loads, Barry. I'm sorry, and you've been given a real. I mean, what greater reward could you receive than what you got today, bro? And I'm not talking about the silver spoons.
The fact that my brothers agreed to going on cannabinoids is the greatest thing that's happened to me in the last 3 months of my life, brother. He's battling leukemia. And he's finally agreed. He's finally looked at the info ball, and he's going to go on the cannabinoids. But, sorry, I'm a little bit emotional here, but I've been trying for 3 months to get it into his head to look at the info about this. He finally sat down at his computer, did some research, and now he's going to go on cannabinoids, friend. Sorry, I'll get to step out for a minute.
Oh, it's all right, Barrymore. Completely understandable. Completely understandable. I didn't know that, Barry. So, right on, man. Right on. Another chance. Another chance. Another chance. Thing is, just flicks me back to the lady with the leukemia today and her child yesterday. The country she's in, they can't get it. It's just, I'm not even going to mention the country, okay? But they can't get it. They cannot get it. We've got to change that. We've got to change that. Come on. You know, we get this up and running, I'm telling you, we get this up and running for a tiny amount, it will support itself. The only problem we're going to have is it's non-profit making. That's the only problem we're going to have. We'll be able to supply this. We'll be able to bring people in. We'll be able to use their profit to turn it round. Because we don't need profit. The only profits we need are the likes of Dean Clifford, Rick Simpson. Them are the profits we need. Them people who can prophesise and give us something before it's too late. Before it's too late. And it isn't too late, remember that. If you've not just heard that from Barry, I mean, if you can't get that now, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. A chance. That's all we've ever asked for. A chance. And that's not what we should be asking. The chances should be abundant. We shouldn't have to be suffering. We shouldn't have to be around people who've got to go through this. I'm pretty healthy, me, in comparison. You know, all right, I've got my problems with my joints, and I don't mean the ones you smoke. The problem is you smoke. I could do with it. It wouldn't do me any harm. Get myself right. What can I do from that position? You know, we've been batting, haven't we? We've been batting low all the time. What do they call it? Over par. We're over par. We're always put down. Always. Imagine what it'd be like when we're not. I think Rick and them lot have, they've seen it. They've seen it. It's a bit scary. It's a bit scary. I get that. But it's better to do something than not. I get that as well. It's far better to have a go. Because someday, you won't have the opportunity. You won't have it. Your mum or your dad or your mum or your brother, your sister, your best pal. They won't be there. They'll be gone. And that'll be it. It'll be too late. Don't let that happen to you. Even if you do lose them, you'll know you can hold your head up high. Don't wait. Don't wait until it's too late. That's my message. Don't wait until it's too late. And don't fear your actions. Because one day it will be too late. It'll be too late. Don't judge yourself any longer. Don't. Step up and let's make this happen. www. Excuse me, too many W's. www.darkcityradio.com. Donate to the PhoenixTears Compassion Club. This is not for us. She's not for us. She's about setting this club up There's another button up if you want to do Darkcity. For the time being, we're alright. Thanks to a couple of people, we've got a little bit, just enough to keep us going in Darkcity, and that's all we need. Just enough to pay the corporate off. Of course, we will put Darkcity on from Spain. We will go live. We'll keep it live, because that's what it's about. Another ground station, and another ground station. Same ideology. But now, for real. Not servers, buildings, people in them. Sanctuary. That's what I could call it, at least for myself. Sanctuary. We'll go where we find it. And when we've got it, it will spread like wildfire. Trust me, it will spread like wildfire. It's the Darkcity Show. We know what we can do. Join us.
There is no space between the lines of day and night. I wonder why the planet seems to move, although we don't desert this groove. The moon keeps on doing its cycles, while we live in madness. Sun is alive, surviving all disasters. Space between the lines with day and night collide. The space between the lines with day and night collide. The space between the lines of day and night collide.
Start singing, you'll leave.
The light of day and dark of night. Sunset chill until the breath of dawn. Through light of day and dark of night. We move against the will of those that will do us wrong. Against the will of those that do us wrong. There is no space between the lines of day and night. I wonder why the planet seems to move, although we don't deserve this groove. The moon keeps on doing its cycles, while we live in madness. Sun is alive, surviving all disasters. Space between the lines of day and night collide. The space between the lines of day and night collide. The space between the lines of day and night collide. Through light of day and dark